How we doing, guys? Welcome to the preview and the predicted lineup. Nottingham Forest against Arsenal. We are back in Premier League action, and it is the third away game in the third competition, with, of course, the last one being Inter Milan in the Champions League in midweek. But we've done Chelsea away in the Carabao Cup, and we won that game. We've also done Portsmouth away in the FA Cup, and we've won that one. But this is the real important one, the Premier League. We want to win that, and we cannot afford any slip-ups. It has to be wins. And we will know what Man City have done before we even kick off this game, because they are in the early kickoff against Manchester United. And I know some people will sit there and say, it's Manchester United, they're terrible, they will win. But football doesn't work like that. And it's the Manchester derby at Old Trafford. It's a tough game. Very tough game. And will be interesting to see what happens before we even kick a ball against Nottingham Forest. Now, with Nottingham Forest, of course, they've had a lot of change this season. And the last time we actually played Nottingham Forest, it was Ange Postecoglou that was just starting as the new manager. And now we're playing them. It's Sean Dyche, because he didn't last 5 minutes there. But you're looking at Nottingham Forest and where they are in the league. They're fourth from bottom, but they are quite a way ahead of the teams that are below them, given the fact that they are that bad. So, you know, I don't think that they're going to get dragged into that relegation battle. But at the end of the day, you can never say never. But I look at their last 5 games, and they've actually only won one of those games, losing 4 of them. And the one that they won was against West Ham, who are one of those sides in the relegation places and are terrible. When you look at their FA Cup game as well, they actually lost that to Wrexham. The game actually finished 3-3, and they lost on penalties. And the Wrexham goalkeeper was a former Arsenal player. But yeah, they're not in the greatest of form. But at home, they can cause some problems. When I watched their game recently against Man City, they gave them some problems. And it took a very late goal to win that game. And of course, Man City were fortunate that they even, had 11 men on the pitch, because they should have had players sent off in that game. But listen, like I said, they're a difficult side at home. I think if this was at the Emirates, I'd be like, you know what, very comfortable, maybe 3 or 4. And that could be the case away from home, but you never know. You kind of just have to realise that away from home, at anybody's, home ground, it's difficult in the Premier League, and it might not be an easy day. So, yeah, we're coming off the back of the Carabao Cup semi-final against Chelsea. We went very strong in that. So does that factor into this as well? Do we kind of look and say we'll rest players against Inter Milan because our position is so good and we're so strong in there that we can afford to do that? Or do we look and say, yeah, we kind of might have to rotate a little bit? I think we'll rotate slightly, but not majorly. I think that Mikel Arteta will look at the situation and say, yeah, we'll rotate around and maybe give some players a game against Inter Milan. And yeah, we'll wait and see. But listen, at the end of the day, you've got the squad that we've got. I think that we can rotate a little bit. I'd like to see us rotate a little bit anyway. So with that said, let's go and get into the lineup. In goal, David Raya comes back into the side. And listen, at the end of the day, Kepa is a good deputy, but he's not David Raya. And I look at the 3 goals we conceded over the last couple of games that Kepa's been in goal. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that I think that David Raya probably doesn't concede any of them, or one at most. The goal against Portsmouth, he doesn't parry that back out into the danger zone, and that doesn't go in. The first goal against Chelsea, I don't think he comes rushing out like that, and he probably blocks it if he does. And the second goal that Chelsea scored, I don't think that he gets boxed in and caught like that on a corner. So, yeah, very straightforward. He comes back into the side. Right back will be Jurriën Timber. Listen, the one thing I will say, and it's not anything against Ben White, but he's just played 2 games in the space of a couple of days. We know what happened the last time he was used too much. Okay, let him play the game against Inter Milan, but 3 games in the space of a week could be risky. Jurriën Timber, he starts. Very simple. Right centre-back, William Saliba. I don't think this is going to change. We ain't really got many other options with Mascara not back yet. Although, from what we're hearing, it is very, very close. Left centre-back, Gabriel. Again, not much we can really do about this situation at the moment with no Hincapié and whatnot. And very straightforward. Left back, I'm going to go with Miles Lewis-Skelly. I think that he could play this game. I think he should start this game. And listen, I'm not happy with his contribution of late, and he looks not great. And Mikel is obviously seen that and agrees with that, because that's why Jurriën Timber played at left back against Chelsea. But for this one, I think, yeah, bring him in. Bring him in for the game. Sitting in front will be Martin Zubimendi, back in the side, but he played against Chelsea. But I think that I don't think it will change, to be honest with you. I don't think it will change. On the right-hand side, I think it will be Bukayo Saka. Again, I don't think this will change, but at the same time, I wouldn't be against Noni Madueke playing. So, yeah, pretty straightforward for me. Next to him, I'm going to go with Eza. I'd like to see him come into the side. It's as simple as that. I don't think it will happen, but I would like to see it. If you've got the squad and the depth and everything, play him. Simple. Next to him, Declan Rice. Again, Inter Milan will be the game where you can rest him and whatnot. Very simple, very straightforward. Premier League games, we need him. I can't say much more than that. On the left-hand side, I'm going to start Martinelli. Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, I don't think Trossard done enough in the game. And I think that, not Trossard, but Martinelli was unfortunate not to start the game against Chelsea on the back of a hat-trick. But for this game, he will start. And then up front, as the main striker, I'm going to go with Victor Gyökeres. I don't think Havertz is quite ready yet. But I think that, yeah, probably Inter Milan as well. Maybe start him in that game. A slower pace in Europe, shall we say. So, yeah, that could be a good one to start him. But again, for this, get 15, 20 minutes in his legs. Play him up front, but not in that 8. Mikel Moreno, listen, I thought he had a really good performance when he came on against Chelsea. He could easily play in Odegaard's role next to Declan Rice. I don't know. Mikel Arteta could easily do that instead of Eza. Maybe Eza goes out on the left-hand side and we try again. I don't know. But yeah, listen, with the striking role, Victor Gyökeres, hopefully that goal against Chelsea has got him going. And I think, again, there's been this over-exaggeration and blown way out of proportion, this whole thing with Saka. And I'm not even getting into it in this video because it winds me up. But listen, that's it. That's the lineup. I think that's a strong enough lineup. I think there's a few tweaks, few changes. But overall, it's pretty strong, and we have to go with that, and we have to go and get the 3 points. It's very simple. And then I think with the Inter Milan game, given the strength of position that we are with the Champions League, we can rotate with that one. Seems mad to think that we can rotate in the Champions League against Inter Milan, but like I said, such has been the consistency and the job that we've done so far in the Champions League. I think that it's put us in this very good position to be able to do that. So yeah, very straightforward, very simple. So there we go. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Do you agree or disagree? Of course, if you're new around here, hit the subscribe button, smash a like on this video, and I will see you lot soon. I'm out of here.